If we can, because Greg, here is the issue. Let's go back to the midterm elections. You're on the News Channel side.
Sure.
You've been covering the primary races we had last night. John McCain, the race up in Alaska. The American worker is frustrated, but the unions are the ones that are going to be flooding millions of dollars into Democratic campaigns for November, less than 2 months away, because they feel that they've got to solidify their position due to the shot.
And remember, 2 weeks ago, Congress passed and the president signed into law a $26 billion union bailout bill. It was nothing more than a big, fat, wet kiss to the unions. They will return the favor by spending an enormous amount of money in select races that they can influence in the midterm elections. Now, remember, unions are only 12% of the American worker, but because they have so much money through their dues, they have a disproportionate impact on elections.
So do you think they have a disproportionate impact on elections when the Supreme Court just passed Citizens United, which lets corporations spend unlimited amount of money on elections?
Well,
you really, I mean, and I'll tell you what, about a big wet kiss, I'd rather give a big wet kiss to an oil rig worker
organizations
than
that
to
can spend
Tony
money.
Erica, let Greg respond.
They can funnel the money in large doses through means that skirt the issue of the legal issues that restrict them.
Corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money in elections. Is that or is that not correct? That is correct. That is
and
right.
so do unions.
But so
and do you think that corporations have more money than unions?
Please jump in, sir.
I want to take Erica's side on this because, look, where is the money coming? Where is most of the money coming from in these special interest campaigns? I mean, it's just you're deluding yourself if you think that the unions have actually got some sort of big war chest that's going to be able to outrun what corporate America has. I'm not saying that it's good that unions can sort of try to sort of push their interests or anyway. The problem is we have a money politics driven political system. And so inevitably when you open the floodgates as that Supreme Court decision did, you are going to drive both sides into this fight. The problem is the campaign financing laws have become too loose and ultimately now we have both sides pushing money right through the door.
And Todd, here's the change, though, is that these two unions, service employees, AFL-CIO, these were unions that, I said this earlier, never played together in the sandbox. They have had a very strained relationship, but they are now banding together to make sure that they get these Democratic candidates through. And in particular, and they've basically said this, it's the Employee Free Choice Act. That is what they want to make sure gets in there that would change the way that unions work inside of corporations in this country.
That's right. Well, membership has actually gone down quite a bit for unions. So they're looking for any help that they can get as far as, one, increasing membership and obviously increasing dues. You know, they have $88 million. The purpose of the union is to get these people to go to actually go to a collective bargaining session where they can actually renegotiate salaries, make sure that they're working in clean places, obviously, and everything else that helps them live their lives. The problem is that these unions are money-making entities right now. $88 million to go out and influence an election is really going back against the logic and really the mission statement of every union that was actually created in this country.
Honey,
so now you have the small business owner. Hold on, Erica. You have the small business owners cannot take.
I mean, if you don't think
you cannot pass this legislation, it will kill job growth. It will kill job growth in this country because a small business owner can't, one, afford union wages. Number two, cannot afford going to some type of a settlement in an arbitration to have to worry about collective bargaining and worrying about his labor force going out on strike. Small businesses create 60% of the job growth in this country.
You want to, honey.
This
union workers don't work for small businesses.
Open up across the board.
Union workers don't work for small businesses.
All right, Erica, go ahead.
I mean, come on. You threw out the boogeyman of the small business owner. Are you kidding me? None of them are unionized. Union workers work on oil rigs where oil companies blow them up and 11 of them die. And the only reason those families have anything to live on is because those workers worked for a union. I mean, if they had not been, they would have died on that rig, and their widows and children would have been out in the cold if they did not work for a union.
Let's not debate exactly what the union is, but I want to go back to my original question with both of you, and that is it right for union dues to be supporting elections come November? Is it right when there may be other issues, rig workers that Erica's bringing up, nurses that are overworked and underpaid? I mean, maybe there are other things that these unions should be spending their money on instead of politics come this November.
It's not politics.
Absolutely
it's
agree.
who owns
You
the
should not be
lawmakers. Todd, listen, you and I do agree on one thing. It is who owns the lawmakers. Is it, I won't go into Lloyd Blankfein again. I'm going to give Tony Hayward a run. Is it Tony Hayward and BP who owns the lawmakers, or is it workers who make $20 an hour? I'd rather have the workers own the lawmakers,
to the guy
because
that's stocking
somebody
shelves
is going
over
to
at
own the
Walmart.
lawmaker.